Okay, we should be live. I'm going to make sure everything's working. And then we can get started. Okay, audio sounds good. Alrighty, we should be good to go. Weeks 1 through 9. We are making unprecedented OFL history today by going through half of the season in one sitting. So this is the last preseason sim. I've already gone through the first two. So as we simulate through this last one, I'll explain the structure of what the next two streams are going to be like. The second part of the regular season will be live on either Monday or Tuesday. I haven't decided yet. We can figure it out over the next day or so. But anyway, what the plan is we're going to simcast a game every other week. So since we're going through 9 weeks today, we're going to simcast 5 games. We're going to pick one in week 1, and we're going to pick it here. And then, did I accidentally sim to the off season? Oh, hold on. My bad. Hold on. I should be going to the OFL Bowl. Yes, that's a good call. Anyway, where was I? So we're gonna pick a game, like say for week 1. Let's say, for example, we pick the Cowboys and the Jets. Maybe we will, maybe we won't, but that's an example. If that game ends up being good, we're gonna hop in and watch. If that game does not end up being good and we simulate through the whole thing, then we're gonna simcast another game in week 2. If we watch part of the Jets and the Cowboys game, we won't simcast the game for week 2. As for our weekly box scores, 9 weeks of box scores is a lot. So what we're going to do instead is we're only going to go over the games for the people who are currently present. But at the end of the stream, I'll go through stats for every team just so everybody can still kind of be in the loop. I hope that made sense. If it did not make sense, you'll see as we go. So what's going on, Hector, Lenny, MP, Frank, Nickinator, Nick, Denmark, Hobie, IT. If I missed anyone, I apologize, but welcome on in, gentlemen. If I can't make the playoffs with Patrick Mahomes, then I'm the new Nick. Probably. I've seen a little bit of the first 2 preseason sims. I know who's in the OFL Bowl. I know how good we did, and that's about it. Were the other 2 sims wild? You'll see. You'll see. Can't wait to see Dread 6 and 11. I mean, the Desperados should be better. The Geagles are guaranteed for 10 wins and an early playoff exit. We had the Bills and a relocation team in the OFL Bowl. The Nighthawks. Okay. That seems reasonable. It looks like the Bengals went 15 and 2. So why don't we start with the standings? And 15 and 2 was the best record in the league. It looks like we scored a lot of points. We allowed a lot of points. The worst team was the Panthers at 2 and 15, along with the Monarchs. The Titans being this low is a surprise. I would say New England being that low is a surprise too. San Fran only wins 7 games. The Explorers only win 7. The Raiders only win 8. Eagles only take 9. Commanders missed the playoffs. The Chargers get in. Okay, that feels weird. The Lions get in. The Oilers get in. Cougars make it. Jets make it. The Jets won the division. So the Bills snuck in at 10 and 7. Still made the bowl. But the Jets winning the division would be kind of funny. And then these teams at the top make sense. Bengals won the North. Steelers made the playoffs. This seems pretty reasonable. Texans won the South. Oilers getting in is a little bit wild. This is interesting. The Jets over the Bills. Has a team ever gone winless yet? We have never had a team go winless. And we've never had a team go undefeated. We've been close, but it's never happened. Chargers winning the West is fascinating. I mean, I guess this division kind of sucks, but I mean, you'd think the Raiders would be the clear favorite. The Lions win the North. I don't know what to expect out of this division. The NFC North is weird. Eagles win the South. Dreadnoughts make the playoffs. Desperados almost do. I could see that happening. Cowboys win the East. Only the Cougars get in. And everybody finishes over 500 again for a second straight year. And then the Nighthawks and Seahawks both win 14 games. That has to be the most amount of wins for a wild card team ever. So what happened in the playoff bracket? How did the Bengals lose in the second round? Oh, we didn't. Oh, we lost to the Bills. Okay. What's new? The Bills were the 6th seed. They beat the Jets, they beat the Steelers, and they beat us all by at least 15 points. The Nighthawks are the number 1 seed in the NFC. They beat Seattle. It seems like those were the clear 2 best teams in the NFC here. Wow, look at this game. 39-38. Interesting. Wow, the Oilers beat the Texans. I didn't even notice that. All right, so let's simulate through the OFL Bowl. Let's see if the Bills get ring number 3 or if the Nighthawks win a ring. This might be like the worst case scenario. Either SG catches my Niners dynasty or we don't hear the end of it from Frank. And it looks like the Nighthawks win it all. Wow. Interesting. 28-21. Travis Flight, the OFL Bowl MVP. And here are your awards on the right. Fanu Olorosu, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Do these rings count? No. Unless you want to make them count, then if you flex preseason sim rings, you do you. I think I did it as a joke, so I guess that means you can do it too. Frank's becoming EA's new darling team. To be fair, he does have a good roster. He does have a pretty good team. All right, let's open up preseason sim number 2. We did 3, keep in mind, per usual. So, in this sim, we had one common denominator in the OFL Bowl. The Bills are back. They're playing against the Eagles this time. How am I just realizing Flight's back in the NFC West? You're right. I didn't even make that connection, but that is correct. The Seahawks and the Bills finished as the number 1 seeds. This time the Niners win 13 games. The Chargers make it again. Wow. The Oilers make it again. Interesting. So it seems like a lot of the results here are actually fairly similar. Bengals and Steelers make it. Texans and Oilers make it. Are the Oilers good all of a sudden? Bills make it. No Jets this time. They only won 7 games. And then the Raiders and the Chargers get it. And the Broncos weren't half bad either. In the North, the Vikings win the division at 8-9. I know we've given the AFC West a ton of crap, but the NFC North really is not much better. The Eagles win the South. Desperados win 10 games and miss. Dallas wins 14. Eagles get in with 10 wins, and they make the bowl. And then the Commanders miss out, while Seattle, San Fran, and OKC all win at least 12 games. So what happened in the playoff bracket? How did we get these 2 teams in the OFL Bowl? God, why do we always have to lose to the Bills? It's every year. Wow, the Eagles made it to the conference championship. Good for them, I guess. All right, let's see if the Bills lose again, or if they actually win this time over Patrick Mahomes and the Eagles. Can Nick Nader get ring number 1? No, the Bills win it, 35-23. So Buffalo wins 3 in a row. They tie San Francisco in OFL 20 for the most rings in one OFL cycle. Dak wins the MVP. Walt Byron won the Rookie of the Year. I did a little looking with Walt Byron. I saw that he led the league in passing. Not bad. Here are your league leaders, by the way. I should have showed it first time around. But yeah, there you go. And then sim number 1. Now, this sim ended up being my favorite, and there's a reason for that. It's not because of the OFL Bowl matchup, because take a guess, the Bills are back again, this time against the Commies. The reason why this sim is my favorite is because Daniel Godley had probably the greatest season I've seen from a quarterback in this game. So if he does this, 5,300 yards, 47 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, passer rating of 120, then you will not hear the end from me. I'm going to assume he won the MVP, but we'll find out for sure in a little bit. So let's see how the standings went. The Bills went 16-1. Dear God. Why are the Titans so bad? I guess they lost a lot of pieces. Never mind. I guess that makes sense. The Niners went 15-2. The Chargers went 14-3. The Chargers made the playoffs all 3 times. Book the parade for the Bengals. Why us? Why'd you have to pick us? It's over. I hate it here. Any others? Why did the Oilers make it all 3 times? Wow. The Oilers and the Chargers made the playoffs in all 3 seasons. So the Bengals won the division. The Steelers got a wild card. This was this case in all 3 sims. Texans won the division. Oilers made the wild card. Again. Bills win the division. Jets get a wild card spot. And then the Chargers win their division at 14-3. The Explorers win the division at 8-9. So across the 3 preseason sims, the NFC North had a division champion go over 500 once. And we had 3 different division winners. And the one team who did it, the Monarchs, tied with the Explorers for first place. Dreadnoughts win the South this time. Cowboys win the East. Eagles and Commies get in. And then the Niners at 15-2 grab the number 1 seed. Seattle gets a wild card spot. And nothing for Oklahoma City. Made the playoffs all 3 sims last year and missed every year. Jeez. Did we lose to the Bills in the AFC Championship? Yes or yes? The answer is yes. Even the simulation knows that the Bills own us. I don't even think like the elements of the stadium even matter for like the conference for the sim games, but we lost in Buffalo all 3 times. Jesus Christ. Dallas and the Commanders rematch in the NFC Championship. This time Washington wins after beating the Niners 35-7 in the first round. Did the Bills win their second ring of the day, or does Washington take one home? SG is your daddy. I mean, do the preseason sims matter? No. I'm happy we made the conference championship all 3 times and that Daniel Godley looks good. The Commies beat the Bills. Okay. 34-27. Najee Harris wins the OFL Bowl MVP. How did Lamar win the MVP? What are we doing? Let's compare. Let's compare real quick. Oh, he threw 52 touchdowns. Never mind. That seems reasonable. I didn't even know he had that good of a season. Why do we have 7 quarterbacks on our roster? Okay, yeah, I won't argue with it. Lamar was ridiculous, and he probably had better rushing numbers than Godley as well. Although Godley can move. Don't sleep. He's got 90 speed. We're a good sense of pressure trait away from having the greatest quarterback in the history of the OFL. If only. If only Boomy fixed that trait. Anyway, preseason sims are done. And guess what? None of those results count. So, there you go. We had some surprises. The Oilers and the Chargers making the playoffs all 3 times. The Bills made the OFL Bowl all 3 times. They beat us in the conference championship every year. That's the wrong one. Hold on. I'm flexing my ring. Flexing a preseason sim ring is definitely an idea. Okay, there it is. Wait, why are we in staff week? Okay, I think I know what happened. It's fine. I'm not worried. Hold on. So basically the Bills are making the bowl. I mean, that's what the Sims say, but we're going to be simcasting every playoff game, so maybe it ends up being different. Please. Please, Jesus. I did not sim it on accident. Hold on. Watch this. It's fine. See? We're all good. Let me just double check I have injuries back on. I turned it off at the start of the preseason. I think I flipped it back. Yes. Okay. That means we're all ready to go. So as I said at the beginning, we're going to pick a game to simcast. And if it's good, we're going to hop in. If not, we'll simcast another game next week. The Bills, I know the Bills have home field advantage, but I don't think that matters in sim. I think we just got unlucky and lost all 3 times, of course. Okay, so let's take a look at the Week 1 schedule. Let's take a look at some games that we would want to consider simcasting. This is not a very good slate. Jeez. Eagles Commies I would put in the running. These two games are not the... I thought that said Seahawks. Never mind. Vikings Niners is fine. Cowboys Jets obviously is one. Seahawks Steelers obviously. And then Texans Bills. I'm going to say Texans Bills, Seahawks Steelers, Cowboys Jets, and Eagles Commies. So everyone pick which one you want. Unlucky. Maybe the OFL 23 Bills are the best team of all time. I think they have to win another ring. I think if the Bills win it all this year, I think they probably do pass the Niners of OFL 20. If not, then I don't think they pass us. But I think if both of us have the same amount of rings, I would give more credit to the Bills because I think their road was a little harder. Not that OFL 20 was complete plumbers like everyone seems to think. Who's my favorite to win the OFL Bowl out of the NFC North that is in Britain? I would say the Vikings when they're in London. All right, Jets. I see 1 for Jets, 2 for Jets, 1 for Texans, 2 for Texans, 3 for Texans, 1 for Eagles. 2 for Eagles. Okay, so I guess we can knock the Steelers and the Seahawks out of the race. Yeah, your Bucks would be OFL 21, the team that won it twice. Another for Jets. There is. I see Frank. I see Lenny. Oh, I missed Littlejaw. And Hector. Okay, so that game is 4. So this game is 4. Texans Bills is 3. The other is 2. Do we have any complaints with Cowboys Jets? Going once, going twice? Sold. Cowboys Jets is our winner. Congratulations, Jets. You're 1-0. I wonder if Siri's back off the IL. Siri, do you work? Nope. Hold on. Siri, are you alive? Doesn't look like it.
On it.
Oh! Siri's on it. Is Siri back from the dead?
Still on it.
I don't think you're on it. I think you're lying to me. Yeah, I don't think Siri's back. Whatever. We're going to use the random number generator. At least Siri's talking. At least she's responsive. I just went on to Safari. It looks like Kansas is winning. I don't believe it. Good for us. I should probably have that game on in the background now that it's close. I thought we were going to lose. All right, the random number generator lands on 1. That would probably be the Jets. Right? Is it? No, it's Dallas. Okay. Have I seen the Orbit's alt uniforms? No. Are they good or are they hilariously awful? I'm going to assume the latter. We are not a great Simcast team. So this game might end 10-7. All black. Good choice. Is that one of the alternates? Yes. As for you, Mr. Nicholas, what would you like to wear? Normal white. Okay. So I assume what you already have. Realistically, if the OFL Bowl is like 80-0 with 5 minutes left, do we Simcast? I mean, if there's only 5 minutes left, that's not a lot of time. If there was 20 minutes, I get the argument. But if there's 5, we might as well just keep... Can't create more save data for this game or app. That's fine. All right, let's get this show on the road. Sunday Night Football at MetLife. Season 5 of OFL 23, the final season, is underway now. We'll go, actually, hold. I like doing it manually. Never mind, that's a lot of clicking. Jets start with a field goal. Dallas responds. They missed the kick. Jets get the lead. Okay. So New York's hanging in there so far. Not even just hanging in there. They're winning. Not for long, though. Here come the Cowboys. Here they come. Big second quarter for Dallas. MetLife Stadium, over under 2.5 season-ending injuries in this game. Surely the turf won't cost more players their season. Yeah, this game doesn't look good for the Jets. Or does it? Maybe they do have the shot. They've got to score here, though. Why are you punting? I get it's 4th and long. I feel like you should have gone for it there. Dallas is up by 3 scores. This game looks like it's over. Jets trying for the comeback, but it's too late. The Cowboys start season 5 with a win on the road against the New York Jets. Jets. Nick actually wins the game in Simcast. I do not believe it. Since this game was not watched, we will Simcast another game for week 2. Joe Burrow played pretty well. Ritter was fine. He's had better days, but I guess he wasn't that bad. Nick hit the 3rd tower. Nick Chubb was solid. Breece Hall was Zakai Ross had a good game. Greg Dulcich played well, as did Cooper Kupp. Remember the Jets starting 5-0 prediction? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Cordell Volson allowed 4 sacks. Who had the big day? And why was... Alex Highsmith had 4. I was about to say, why was it TJ Watt? But it was Highsmith who had 4 sacks. Wowzers. I wonder what Little Joe was doing on 9/11/2001. Probably not being alive. Armani Goodwin. Remember when he had 35 carries in a watch game? That was fun. Okay, so we're going to save it, and then I'm going to delete some files. That way I don't have the data thing pop up on my screen before every game that you guys don't get to see. Ja was swimming in his dad's ball sack then. Exactly. Okay, I think we're good now. All right, it's sim time. Let me just make sure the game's saved. Okay, we're good. All right, don't disappoint me, team. Don't disappoint. I think I'm already on the Bengals, so I guess we'll start with us. Show me a W. Good stuff. I wish we would have won by more than 6, but I'll take what I can get. Daniel Godley did not play very well. Trey Lance arguably was better, but a win's a win. I'll take it. J-Mo played well. That's cool. Carter Weston was pretty good. Can I bench Cordell Volson? Yes, I can. Did we have a big defensive day from everybody? Not really. Okay, I don't feel very encouraged, but we won, so it's fine. Oh! I see you, Houston. I see you. Wow. They blow out the Bills. Isaiah Thomas was bad. Lamar Jackson was not bad. 463 yards. Good Lord. Zach Lawler had himself a day, as did Christian Watson. The Texans are trying to remind everybody that they're here too. It's not just us and the Bills. Oh, wow, what happened to the Chargers? They were so good in the preseason sims, and then they get blown out by the Steamers. The Steamers! Carson Michaels, welcome to the OFL. Not a bad debut. Trevor Lawrence was pretty bad, though. So I guess basically, based on these first 4 games, everything you saw in the preseason sims does not matter. The preseason sims is a money laundering scheme, and I only do it to waste 20 minutes of your guys' time. The Eagles beat the Colts in overtime with a big fourth-quarter comeback from Mexico. Dak played well. Oh, wait, no, aren't I only showing the box scores of the people who are here? I'm stupid. I think everyone who I've showed is here, though. But, yeah, thank you for the reminder, Frank. I forgot. I'm used to clicking every game. All right. Both of these guys are here, so we'll take a look at this. The Eagles beat the Commanders 35-27. Both quarterbacks played well. The preseason Sims launder more money. They do not launder more money than Texas A&M. The only thing that's faker than the preseason Sims is Texas A&M's football program. The Cougars beat the Desperados. I don't believe either person is here. If I skip through your game and you are here, please say something so I can go through it. But good win for the Cougars. We obviously saw that. We just saw that. The Dreadnoughts beat the Titans 41-24. Jalen Hurts had a great game to start his season. Walt Byron, the rookie, had a pretty good debut, although he got sacked 6 times. I did not skip your game. Derrick Henry played well, the new starting running back here in San Antonio. Aiden Turkey with a big game. Gobble, gobble. That's pretty cool. 2 sacks for Danielle Hunter, coming off a great season last year. The Explorers beat the Snowhawks. The Niners lose to the Vikings. We saw that. The Nighthawks lose to Detroit. Uh-oh. What's going on here in the Motor City? Travis Flight did play pretty well in his OKC debut, though. So pretty much all the teams who won like 15 games in a preseason sim lost in week 1. The Bills lost, the Nighthawks lost, the Niners lost. The only one who didn't is us, and even we looked shaky. The Monarchs beat the Rams 31-28. I know Denmark's here. Phil Chippendale, big game. That brings back good memories. Nighthawks lost. The Oilers lose to New England. The Orbits beat Carolina. The Raiders smack the Ravens. The Seahawks beat the Steelers 17-7. Who needs offense anyway? Hayden Callaway was, I mean, it doesn't look like he made like a bunch of mistakes. He was just kind of there for the ride. I take it somebody had a big game on defense. 2 sacks for Big Jeffrey Simmons. Let's have a chat. Just a chat. The Raiders got smacked. It can be confusing looking through all the scores. Good for Baltimore, though. 42-7. 21 rushing yards for the Raiders. My bad for getting that wrong. All right. Have we gone through everyone's game who is here? If I did it, speak up or forever hold your peace. Imagine not being 1-0. Imagine. Players of the week. Dak Prescott, Alejandro De Cesnaro, the rookie, Alex Highsmith, and Fred Warner. All right, that'll bring us into week 2. Since week 1, we didn't watch it. We will simcast another game right here. So let's narrow it down to 3 or 4 that we like. Bills, Jets. I kind of am intrigued by this game. This game's a good one. This is a playoff rematch, divisional round. Ravens might be kind of good. All right, let's pick Bengals, Ravens, Steelers, Raiders, Eagles, Commies, Dreadnoughts, Desperados, and Bills, Jets. 1 for Eagles, 2 for Eagles. If I didn't say your game, it's not getting picked. Three for Eagles, 1 for Dreads, Desperados. Two for Desperados. I think That's 3 for the Desperados. 4 for the Desperados. What happened in week 1? Oh, he might not have volume. I think the Desperados and the Dreadnoughts is currently winning 4-3 over the Geagles and the Commies. No other game has a vote. Did I miss anybody's vote? Did I count Hector's earlier? I don't think so. So that's 4. I think I did Denmark. So it's tied at 4. Does that mean I have to be the tiebreaker? Am I blind? How am I blind? Did I miss Denmark's? Okay, we have Lenny, we have MP. Okay, you're right. That's 5. Geagles has 5. Everyone here has said Geagles and Commies. That's not true. Nickinator said Dreads Desperados. Little Jaw said Dreads Desperados. Hobie said Me Game. That's Dreads Desperados. I must have miscounted somebody else's, so that's only 3. So it looks like the Geagles and the Commies is our winner. Random number generator lands on 1. I think the Geagles were the road team. All right, catch-ups and then all black. Easy enough. Skip unis at this point. Well, those two got it in pretty quickly. If everyone thinks we should skip unis, that's fine. But both of them did get it in fast. But, I mean, we can do that. Both of these teams are coming off close, high-scoring games in Week 1. The Geagles won. The Commies lost. Washington certainly does not want to start 0-2. Being in an ultra-competitive division, I want to do by quarter. And it's a rain game. Both teams score quickly. Okay, 7-7. Washington takes the lead. Eagles tie it. Washington adds points. They lead at the half. Eagles tie it. Okay, we've got ourselves a game. All right. Washington's up by 3. I think we're going to keep simming for a little while. They're moving. We're going to hop in. Everyone wants to hop in. We'll jump in. So the Geagles are in red. It feels weird having a game with Washington and they're not in red, but just roll with it. This is the Geagles with the ball. As we have a flag. Might be a hold. No! Late hit on the quarterback. Uh-oh. So the Geagles move closer. Here's Dak Prescott. He's going short. There's a solid gain to the 15. Dak's having a pretty good game based on those numbers. 263, 3 tutties, no picks. Got to watch out for the 2 edges. Brian Burns is on one side, Max Crosby's on the other. Up the middle. Good play. They get it to the 7. They're moving close. Is it just me, or is the game moving in slow motion? Is everybody's stream being weird? There's a big play. Going backwards. I wasn't looking until the end. I think that was Crosby. 2nd and goal. Dak up the middle with plenty of rushing room. Gets it to the 3. Looked like he was closer. 3rd and goal. Play action. Dak for the lead. It's caught for a touchdown by scary Terry McLaurin. And Mexico is going to be ahead by 4. All right, here we go. Big drive for Washington. They're down by 4. Field goal does nothing. They need a touchdown. Terry still helping the Cowboys. What a guy. Oh, dangerous throw. Nearly intercepted. Looks like Mac's having a good game, too, based on his numbers. Mac has played well through 2 games, but this team might fall 0-2 unless they score here. Fumble! That ball was out. And it's picked up by Mexico. That was clean out. Hit stick. Olave from the Saints going 70 and a 35. Loses the ball. Let's just make sure that was a fumble, but in real time, that's out. Yep. Let's see if Mexico can finish off the game. First down wraps it up for good. So it looks like Washington's going to start 0-2. Now, Mac Jones has played well, but defensively, they've allowed quite a few points, albeit against 2 pretty good offenses with 2 very good quarterbacks. But in a division like the NFC East, you can't really afford to fall behind too much, or else you're in trouble. The Eagles are going to go up to 2-0. This is a big win for them because week 1 they kind of struggled with the Colts. They needed overtime to beat them. But beating Washington on the road, that's a big deal. I don't think he got it. Nope. I say you punch it in. 4th and inches. I say you go for it. End the game. I don't think they will, though. But they should. Oh, they are. Why are they in shotgun? It's 4th and inches. What is happening? Okay, they end the game. Zeke actually brings it all the way to the 2. But yeah, that'll do it. So the Eagles survive. A late fumble from Chris Olave ends up being the deciding factor. And the Mexico City Eagles have the best record in the OFL. They're 2-0. The Commies have the worst record. They're 0-2. Both quarterbacks played really well. Both running backs played really well. Najee had himself a day, and Zeke was good too. Ayuk, Olave, Von Bryan all playing well. Shout out Von Bryan and McLaurin with 2 touchdowns, including the game winner. Did that say James Robinson? Why is he in the game to allow 2 sacks? I didn't even know he was on Washington. Huh. That's odd. Oh well. I'm here. Fitting timing. I suppose you watched the end of the game. Tee-hee-hee. Well, anyways, Danny, I got some good news and some bad news. The good news is your team played pretty well in the preseason sims. Once you guys went 15-2. The bad news is, in the games that have counted so far, you're 0-1. Obviously he was just pass blocking, but I didn't even know he was on Washington. Maybe he is their fullback. That actually would make a lot of sense. Because I was going to say, wouldn't Najee be at all 3 running back positions? Najee Harris is the greatest receiving back in OFL history. He better be the pass-catching back. I watched the preseason sims first. Okay, that makes sense. The Jets are 0-2. Now, to be fair, wow, look at the Jets' schedule the first 6 weeks. This is brutal. They play the 2 teams who just made the OFL Bowl, the Cowboys and the Bills, and then they play on the road against the Eagles, on the road against the Bengals, on the road against the Texans, on the road against the Bills. This is brutal. Poor Jets. My Lord. Ja predicted a 5-0 start. I don't know where he got that from. Isaiah Thomas was pretty bad in week 1, and he was pretty good here in week 2. Ritter was fine himself. I think the Jets will be fine in terms of like talent and winning games at the end of the year, but there's a good shot they start like 2-4. And that would require them to win 2 of these games. Even that on the road, that feels kind of hard. What does their schedule look like at the end of the year? Wow, this is really easy. They had the Commies, they had the Eagles. Other than that, the Jets are clearly better than all these teams after week 6. But they could start like 1-5. The Lions lose to the Monarchs. The Monarchs are 2-0. Bo Nix threw a touchdown. Phil Chippendale threw 2. Caleb Williams threw 3, but he also threw 3 interceptions. Nighthawks would be next. Oh, God. Huh, okay. 48-7. The Steamers are back to normal. Travis Flight threw 5 touchdowns. Carson Michaels was not good. He got sacked 7 times, to be fair. JSN played really well. 3 touchdowns, 10 catches. 2 sacks for Felix Anaduke Uzoma and 2 sacks for Aiden Hutchinson. Are the Steamers bad? They blew out the Chargers by like 30 in week 1, and the Chargers made the playoffs all 3 times in the preseason Sims. Oilers lose to the Snowhawks. Maybe the Sims were wrong about the Oilers. The Orbits lose to the Cowboys. Dallas is 2-0. Joe Burrow did his thing. Nick Chubb did his thing. The Panthers lose to the Eagles. Patrick Mahomes played very well. The Eagles are now 2-0. Is this the year that Nick Nader finally gets over the hump and win a playoff game? How's my Saturday? My Saturday's been pretty good. How about yours? New England lost to the Cougars. The Raiders lose to the Steelers. The Raiders are 0-2. They've allowed 80 points through 2 games. That's a lot. And this is coming off a Steelers team who just scored 7 points. And now they got like 40. Your gay Hawks beat IU. Doesn't gay mean happy? And we are pretty happy. Quite the comeback from the boys. The Rams beat the Niners. That's a surprise. The Niners are 0-2. Should we be concerned about San Francisco, or should we not hit the panic button because they were good in the preseason Sims? But Justin Pope, ouch, 4 picks. This defense is so bad it makes me want to jump off a cliff. To be fair to you, you did play against the 2 best teams in the league. So, if you're 0-2, I'd rather lose to those teams than, say, the Rams. Good. The Ravens lose to the Bengals. Show me a Daniel Godley masterclass. Okay. No picks, and he was efficient. I'll take that. That's a win. What happened to Alejandro? The rookie, Alejandro de Cisnaro, got hurt. David Gloss came in. He actually played pretty well, to his credit. Or David, I thought it said Gloss. His name is Glass. Looks like we had 5 sacks. I like that. J-Lo's playing really well through 2 games. He's not even in the slot. Devontae Adams isn't. Where's Devontae Adams? Oh, God. Don't tell me he got hurt. That might be why J-Mo's in the slot. Because I have him second there behind Devontae Adams. That's not good. Who had all the sacks? 2 for the rookie, Fanu Olurosu. Wow. And then our big 3 all had 1 each. Good stuff. Seattle beats the Titans 35-28. Bryce Young was solid. Walt Byron was not. Can I make Godwin the backup slot receiver? Yes, I can. Who is Alejandro de Cisnaro? He was in the last draft class. The Ravens, does that say 6? God damn, Jacoby Williams. Who are you, and why did you get 6 TFLs? Anyway, yay, Aleem McNeil, 1.5 sacks. Love it. Anyway, Alejandro de Cisnaro was in the last draft class. He won the Player of the Week for Week 1 for AFC offense. So he might be pretty good. Okay, what? Can somebody explain this to me like I'm 4? Huh? What? So, you're going to sit here and tell me 4.4 yards a carry for number 44. Pleased. Anyway, you're going to sit here and tell me that the Texans blow out the Bills and then lose to the Colts. The Colts might not be too bad. They took the Eagles to overtime in Week 1, and they just beat Houston. What is happening? The Explorers beat the Vikings. Who did we start with? We started with Mexico. The Chargers beat Denver, so they're on the win column. Oh, the Desperados are 0-2. Maybe all that money isn't going to fix their problems. San Antonio outscored them 17-0 in the second half to win by 3. Jalen Hurts didn't even play well. Ouch. But they still won. So who cares? The Texans are the mid-2010 Steelers. They played down to competition. I guess so. I mean, I think the Texans are better than some of those Steeler teams, but I guess I see your point. I mean, so far they've played down to competition this year. I think that's just about everyone. Yup. If you're 2-0, you're cool. If you're not 2-0, you're probably not cool. Players of the week. Show me Olorosu. Actually, it probably won't be Olorosu. That one guy had 6 TFLs. It's not him either. It's Stanford. I don't even know who that is. He's joined by Jordan Fuller, Travis Flight, and Rufus Motley, who's the starting quarterback of the Snowhawks, by the way. All right, on to week 3. So I know I said what I was going to do is I'm going to do like a simcast every week or every other week. So like week 1, if we don't hop in and watch, then we'll simcast a game week 2. Would you guys like to just sim through this week, or do we make this a regular simcast week? And for what it's worth, wow, there are some good games this week. Wow, this is a loaded slate. Holy cow. There's like 4 good games here. Nighthawks, Dallas. This game's cool, but that's not even the ones I'm referring to. Commies, Dreadnoughts. Bengals, Steelers, and Niners, Seahawks. I feel like we have to simcast a game this week. I'm back and I can hear. Oh, did you miss out on your week 2 game? Unserious franchise. Anyway, I feel like we have to simcast a game this week. So the choices are going to be Niners, Cowboys, Commies, Dreads, Bengals, Steelers, Niners, Seahawks. I see 1 for the Niners, 1 for the Nighthawks, 2 for the Niners, 3 for the Niners, 4 for the Niners, 2 for the Nighthawks and the boys. I kind of want to see the Nighthawks and the boys, personally. I haven't voted yet. I feel like I'm going to vote for this game. Although Seattle and the Niners is a good choice, too. No complaints from me. I see another Niners. Okay, I think the Niners and the Seahawks is going to win. That's fine. That's a good choice. Number generator lands on 1 again. It's landed on 1 every time. Vote Nighthawks so Frank can win. Yeah, the Niners are 1. The Niners are 0-2. They've got to get a win here. Again, they did well in the preseason sims, but losing to the Rams is not a very good look. And now you got to play against a pretty good Seattle team. Wow, the Niners are rated higher than Seattle. Interesting. You guys said we should skip through uniforms. That's fine. We can do that to move quicker. So let's see if the Niners can get a win here on Thursday night, or if the Seahawks can improve to 3-0 in what's going to be a very competitive division. Starting off 3-0 would be a big deal for them. Niners score quick. Seahawks respond. Okay. Fun start. Niners are moving it down the field. Their offense is looking good, coming off a 4-interception game from Justin Pope. And they're up by 11 going into halftime. Now they're up by 15, and they had the ball. Wow, look at the Niners. Yeah, this game is over. Wow, they're blowing them out. Holy cow. They might get 50. They're not going to get 50, but still, 45-13. Talk about a statement win for a Niners team who needed one. After starting 0-2, they realize we cannot fall behind the 8 ball anymore. They come into Seattle and blow them out. I'm not too worried about the Seahawks. They've played well so far. Oh, God, look at Bryce Young's numbers. Yikes. Maybe we should be worried. You watched the blowout over a competitive game in Dallas. Hey, I said I wanted to simcast your game. Don't shoot the messenger. But Justin Pope was brilliant, coming off maybe the worst game of his career last week. He had probably the best one today. Bryce Young, on the other hand, not too good. At least he didn't turn the ball over. Bobby Moss-Jones with a good game. DJ Moore doing his thing. 3 sacks, I see, for Josh Sweat. 2 for DeForest Buckner. A lot of sacks for both teams. Okay, before we sim, I'll do Frank's... Why is my controller acting up? What is happening? Why is my controller doing that? Oh, that was the other controller. I'm dumb. Never mind. Stop messing around. I was accidentally leaning on my controller. I didn't know why I was doing that, but that was why. Okay, he wants Chris Godwin as his backup slot. Behind. Oh, he already is. Okay, never mind. We're good. Did I bench Corvell? Did I? Actually, I don't think I did. Thank you for reminding me. Let's fix that now. I assume Isaac McCain is fine. I mean, he can't be worse than Corvell allowing 4 sacks. I cannot emphasize enough how much I don't want Dak Prescott. He has been pretty good. Hector's not lying. All right, let's him. Did I see the Raiders score 63? I did. That was funny. Congratulations, Chargers. And I mean that, like, sincerely. That's the best thing that could have happened to them. The Eagles are 3-0. They beat the Jets 36-33. A lot of offense. The Jets are 0-3, albeit they've played 3 pretty good teams, but their next 3 games are against the Bengals, the Texans, and the Bills. Doesn't get any easier. And the Eagles are 3-0. Are they, like, contenders? They might be. The Vikings beat the Lions. The Monarchs are 3-0. Look how many points they've scored. 31, 42, 38. To be fair, they played the Raiders, whose defense has been abysmal so far. The Raiders have allowed 38 points at least every game. Denton Sens the fourth is playing pretty well, but they're 0-3 because their defense is balls. I don't fully trust London yet, but their offense seems to be good. The Nighthawks lose to the Cowboys by 1, 28-29. Now, Travis Flight did outplay Joe Burrow. Both got sacked 4 times. Did we have the Nick Chubb masterclass? Not really. Mike Evans played well, though, as did Stephon Diggs. A lot of sacks. Oh, boy. 2.5 for TJ Watt, 2 for Sexy Dexy. The Oilers beat... Okay, can this Texans team ever make sense? What is happening? What on earth is happening? After they beat the Bills, I thought, like, this team might be on top of the world. Now, albeit, the Oilers aren't that bad. They made the playoffs in all 3 preseason sims. But still, this is a little weird. Especially considering they've started this year 0-2. Flight already has double-digit touchdowns. That's pretty good through 3 weeks. His team only has 1 win, but if the Nighthawks get back to business, which I imagine they would, he could be an MVP candidate. Devin White, 2 picks. Dragon legend. The Bills beat the Orbit, so it seems like Buffalo's back in business after their Week 1 loss. Isaiah Thomas played well. Drake May, not so much. Panthers lost. They're 0-3. Patriots lost to the Snowhawks, who are playing kind of decent. Rams lost to the Explorers. The Colts are 2-1. Interesting. The Steelers beat the Broncos. They're 2-1. The Bengals are 3-0. Hooday! We beat the Steelers by 7. So that means we're going to lose to the Steelers in Week 16 because we always split them. But 3-0, I'll take it. It hasn't been a pretty 3-0, but I'll take what I can get. Daniel Godley was pretty mediocre. You could argue, oh my God, 8 sacks. I've been waiting for our pass rush to finally wake up. Also, shout out Josh Jacobs. He played very well. Okay, is Devontae Adams hurt? No, he's not. J-Mo's just better. Yeah, a lot of sacks. I'm excited to see these numbers. I see a 2.5. I see a 3. 3 for Josh Allen. I was worried he was going to suck at defensive tackle. It looks like I was wrong. He's balling. 2.5 for Myles Garrett. Fanu Olorosu is a beast. 1.5 for him. Wow. Love it. The pass rush has finally lived up to expectation. It took 5 years, and we're finally doing it. Chargers beat the Cougars. The Dreadnoughts beat the Commies. The Commies are 0-3. What pick did I draft Olorosu? He was... I think like 23. He was my second first-round pick, and he is a baller. Very happy I got him. He's been maybe the most consistent player on the defense so far, which says something. He shouldn't be. The other guys need to do better, but still. The Eagles are 3-0. Wanted Oloroso so badly. I don't blame you. Good on you for scouting him well, I guess. Some good teams are 1-2 or 0-3. Are there any? Oh, the Commies are 0-3. Never mind. Yeah, they are good. But the Nighthawks are 1-2. The Niners are 1-2. The Jets are 0-3. There's another one. The Texans are 1-2. I'm coming for you. Whoa. Okay. The Explorers are 3-0. They've beaten nobody, but they're 3-0. Wow, they don't play anybody for a while. This might be the easiest schedule I've ever seen. They don't play like a legitimately good team until week 10. Maybe the Monarchs are kind of good. Maybe. Oh, we started with the Niners. Okay, that's everyone. I think week 4 might just be a straight sim, unless there's a game we feel like we have to go through. Rutrow, we're looking at a Cowboys dread Seahawks NFC dominance again. Polar bear alert. Players of the week, Justin Pope. Alejandro De Cesnaro again. He's won the player of the week both times he's been healthy, along with Nakobe Dean and Devin White. Jamar Chase, wide receiver 3. Okay, would you also like to put him in the slot by chance? I'm going to assume you would like it like this. Can I put Dixon in the slot? I can. And then put Chase in the slot. Got it. It seems like everyone wants a straight sim, so unless there's a game that we feel like we have to simcast, like if Dallas plays Seattle or something. There we go. Alright, is there anything we cannot miss? Panthers-Oilers, have to simcast it. Jets-Bengals is kind of fun. Cowboys-Eagles. Okay, there's some good games at the end. Eagles-Dreadnoughts. I think we can just simulate through this week, but this game looks really good, and this game looks really good. But we can just sim right through it. We don't need to simcast 4 straight weeks, you're right. All right, let's take a look. Week 4. The Niners get another win. They beat the Cougars 38-17. So the Niners appear to be back. Justin Pope is back in business. Greg Dortch! Look at him. Good for Greg. So it seems like the Niners didn't need to hit the panic button after 2 weeks. They're back. They're alive and well. The Eagles are very alive and well. They're 4-0. They beat the Dreadnoughts. That's a massive win. Obviously in the division. It looks like it'll be these 2 teams at the top, as it's been every year. So this will very much help for the tiebreaker, potentially. Nick Nader beating the fraud allegations. Oh my God, we lost to the Jets. It's fine. The Jets are good. I'm not going to panic. Okay, maybe I should panic. This is bad. Desmond Ridder played well. Josh Jacobs played very well. The Jets were due for a win. It happens. Reginald Bayless, 2 sacks. Why is Daniel Godley not good in the games that count, though? He's literally a preseason sim merchant. Desperados finally win. Monarchs finally lose. $50 burger. That's a lot of points. 50-15. Big win for OKC. Flight only threw 2 touchdowns. Oh my God. Not a bad game on the ground for Bijan Robinson. Not bad at all. That would explain why they scored 50. I wonder who's going to win the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Oilers win. Orbits beat the Colts. Colts coming back down to earth. Panthers are 0-4. Bills beat New England. The Raiders finally win. They beat the Snowhawks. The Ravens lose to the Steamers. The Commies are on the board with a win. Similarly with the Jets, they were due. They beat Seattle, who's fallen to 2-2. Is the sky falling in Seattle, or have they just played a couple good teams in a row and don't need to worry? Steelers are 3-1. Steelers are 1-3. They lose to the Chargers. Trevor Lawrence and Hayden Callaway both played pretty good. The Texans are back on the board. They blow out Tennessee. $49 points. That's a lot. The Eagles are 4-0. They're here. Patrick Mahomes plays very well. Burrow is pedestrian. I hope you know you will never hear the end of this. Scoreboard, or should I say standings? 3 rushing touchdowns for Chubb. McCaffrey won up them with 4. Although McCaffrey didn't even play that well. Nick Chubb was very clearly better. Whoa! So Nick Chubb had 4 all-purpose touchdowns and 260 yards. This Offensive Player of the Week race between Bijan Robinson and Nick Chubb is going to be generational. And that's everyone. What is Denver looking like? They are pretty bad. They're 1-3, and they have Trey Lance as their quarterback, who is not good in this game. Nick Chubb takes the Player of the Week over Bijan Robinson, along with I.T. Thomas, Nate Stevens, and Chad Muma. All right, that'll bring us into Week 5. We've had 3 simcasts so far. So if there's a game we feel like we have to go through, we can simcast. If not, maybe this is another straight-through sim week. Seahawks and Niners play again. I feel like this is a week we can kind of go straight through. This would probably be the game I would pick, Jets and Texans. I feel like this is a sim through week. Yeah, okay. Glad we're on the same page. A power back going through 100 receiving yards on me is common. Shout out Najee Harris. All right, everyone wants sim. Okay, we're all in agreement. Please, Daniel Godley, please actually perform. I beg. Oh, Seattle gets revenge on the Niners. So San Fran and Seattle split. And the Niners fall behind them once again. The Eagles are 5-0, albeit they played the Titans, who are pretty bad, but 5-0 is 5-0. I can't tell if this team is actually going to be really good this year or if they're going to lose in the first round again. The Jets are coming back. They beat the Texans now. The Texans are under 500. They're 2-3. The Jets are also 2-3, but they are on the right trajectory. I was a little worried they would really fall behind, but 2 big wins in a row. They play against Buffalo next week. If they win that, they can theoretically run the table and win 12 games. Rashawn Gary had 3.5 sacks, though. Lions beat the Broncos. The Monarchs lose again to the Explorers, who are playing some good football. They have, 4 wins? Or they might have 5. They're playing really well. Looks like probably the Explorers' division to lose, with the Monarchs cooling off. The Nighthawks win again. They beat Minnesota. They've won 2 in a row, back over 500. Travis Flight throws 5 touchdowns. The Explorers are playing good football against bad teams. You are absolutely right. I'm not convinced with the Explorers until they start winning against really good teams, but I mean, you can only play the teams on your schedule, and they are winning. Oh! The Oilers beat the Bills. The IT Thomas revenge game doesn't quite go to plan. Womp womp. Are the Bills, have they taken a step back? I'm not ready to say yes to that question yet. I think this is more indicative of the Oilers actually being half decent. Trevor Lawrence is on the Chargers now. The Orbits beat the now 1-4 Washington Commanders. Is Washington kind of bad? You can't fall behind in that division, especially with the Eagles, who are 5-0 based on how Nickenator was reacting. The Cowboys probably have 4 wins. The Panthers are 0-5. They get blown out by the Dreadnoughts. Nice bounce back for San Antonio. Until a team beats them and watched, I'll still trust the Bills. I think that's probably the right way to go about them. Until we see someone like actually really get a statement win against them, I'm not worried for them. Patriots beat the Colts. Raiders lose to the Cowboys. So the Raiders are like 1-4 now. Alex Highsmith with another big game. Revenge for Cocky. The Rams lose to the Desperados. They've won 2 in a row. The Ravens lose to the Bengals, so we sweep Baltimore. Good win. 205 rushing yards. I like that. Why is Daniel Godley not good in the games that count? I don't get him. In the preseason Sims, he throws for 5,000 yards, 45 touchdowns, but when it counts, he just doesn't try. Now, thankfully, we have Josh Jacobs here, so at least there's that. Why has J-Mo been better than Devontae Adams in every game? Devontae Adams is, like, cooked. He's a 96 overall. Why is he playing bad? 2 sacks for Myles Garrett. Nice. The Daniel Godley bust agenda is thriving. He's 21 years old, and his team is 4-1. Has he lived up to expectations? Absolutely not. But I'm not worried about him long term. Maybe for this season I am, and this is the season that matters. I don't get why he doesn't try in like the games that are actually important. It doesn't make sense. Good win for the Steelers. Hayden Callaway, 5 touchdowns. So the Steelers are back in business. They're 2-3. Jamar Chase actually showed up today. Y'all called Danny crazy for keeping Poe. I didn't call him crazy. I thought there was a possibility that it would work out. I didn't think it would work out because Daniel Godley is underperforming, which has been the case. Dan was 21 when he won MVP. Well, I'm not saying he's better than Dan. We drafted him to be at the level of Dan, sure, but he has not been. I think still in a vacuum, it wasn't a bad trade by us. It just hasn't worked yet. But I'm not ready to, say it was a mistake. The Chargers are 4-1. That's fun. Have we missed anybody? Did we see the Eagles? No, they beat the Cougars 20-14. Low scoring. Mahomes didn't even play that well. Is that everyone? Yup. As for the players of the week, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Akeem Wright, and Hassan Reddick. And I don't think Corral's better than him. I get he hasn't played well. I think that's too far. Now that we're 5 weeks in, we can look at the standings. Only 2 undefeated teams left: the Eagles and the Geagles. Teams that are named the Eagles are 10-0. And we only have one winless team, that being Carolina. The Bengals lead the North. The Steelers are 3-2. Wow, look at our defense. Nice. The Oilers lead the South. Bills and Orbits lead the East. Everybody's within a game. And then the Chargers lead the West. In the NFC North, the Explorers are 4-1. Vikings and Monarchs over 500. Eagles lead the South, a game over the Dreadnoughts. Eagles are 5-0, game ahead of the Cowboys. And then the Nighthawks and Seahawks are tied. Matt Corral did make an OFL Bowl, but Daniel Godley's like a 97. I think he's going to figure it out. It's only a matter of time. Has he played well? No, but I still think it's going to happen. I have no reason to believe it won't. All right, week 6, Niners, Nighthawks. That's definitely on the list. Jets, Bills, why not? Eagles, Seahawks. I like that game. All right, we'll do those 3. One for Niners, 2 for Niners, 3 for Niners, 1 for Seahawks, Eagles. Okay, the Niners and Nighthawks clearly is winning. We'll do that. Number generator lands on 1. It's landed on 1 every time. Oh, we're already on the Niners. Perfect. We've been on them for like 4 straight weeks. How many touchdowns does Flight have? We can check that real quick. I don't want to go through all the stats, but he has, goddamn, 19. Yeah, he's the MVP right now. Breakout quarterback. What's going on with Mr. Pope? He already has X Factor, but this is probably like a boatload of XP. The Niners are on 91. My lord. I don't think there's any team higher than a 91 other than the Bills. Not even Dallas. Are the Niners the second best team in the league on paper? That's wild. Shout out to Danny. He's clearly flipped this team on its head. Good for him. He deserves it. His team's 2-3, though. It's not like they're winning games out of it. And so far, they're struggling out the gate here against OKC, who's already up 14-0. Okay, the Niners make it a little closer, but they're still down by 10. Only down by 3. We've got ourselves a game. Nighthawks still have the ball, though, and the lead. Can they punch it in? They get a field goal. Okay. 4th and 20. They kick a field goal. We're going to sim this drive. If the Nighthawks get stopped, we will hop in. They might not get stopped. They're moving it. Yup. 3rd and 2 for the game. They got it. All right, so the Nighthawks survive over the Niners. Good fight from San Francisco. Interesting decision to kick, albeit it was a 4th and 20. In hindsight, maybe we could have hopped in. More so on that Niners drive rather than when the Nighthawks were chewing the clock. But by the time it seemed like a good time, it was like either 3rd and 20 or 4th and 20. But in hindsight, maybe we should have. That's my bet. I don't think Justin Pope completed his challenge. Only 45% completion percentage. I should be jailed. Okay. Since we didn't hop in, we'll probably make next week a Simcast week as well. Unless there isn't a super enticing game. I'm a neo-Nazi. What did we say about calling people that? What did we say? The Eagles are 6-0. Wow. They beat Seattle by 7. The Seahawks fall to 3-3. The Jets lose to the Bills. All things considered, after they started 0-2, they had to win 2 of these games, and they did. So, could have been worse. And now the Jets have their easy stretch, so I'm confident that they'll be fine. As long as they go like 8-3 the rest of the way, which I know seems like a lot, but how many good teams do they have here? One. They don't play a team that's like clearly good until week 18. Oh wow, big win for the Monarchs, 35-7. Nighthawks won. Well, we obviously saw that already. The Oilers fall back down to earth. They lose to the Titans. Orbits lose to New England. Panthers are 0-6. Ravens beat the Chargers. That's a surprise. The Eagles are 6-0. Albeit beating the Rams isn't all that impressive, but still. Both of the Eagle teams remain undefeated. Can we call ourselves the Bengal Eagles? That way we will like never lose again. 2 picks for Deshaun Elliott. 3.5 sacks for Kenny Clark. Snowhawks are 500. Steamers are 4-2. Steelers had a bye week. Texans get a win. Big win. They needed that one. Titans won. Vikings got shut out. Bengals had a bye week. Bills won. The Commanders finally win again. They beat the Desperados by 3. Kyler Murray played well. He was arguably better than Mac Jones. Not even arguably. He was definitely better. Najee Harris with a big game. Najee's been very good. CMC has like 12 touchdowns. I don't know if he's the offensive player of the year. Nick Chubb's numbers this year have been ridiculous. And Bijan Robinson might be coming too. Whoa, pause. Cougars lose to the Cowboys. Weren't the Cougars like 2-0 or 3-0? They were 2-0 and they lost 4 in a row. Albeit, they took Dallas to overtime. The Cowboys are now 5-1, still a game behind the Eagles. JoJo Earl with a big game. Dreadnoughts had a bye week, and that's everyone. Danny wants to see his schedule. Here you go. Fairly easy to finish up today. Steelers is kind of tough. Should go 2-1 there. Wow, this is easy. Gets tough at the end with the Nighthawks and the Bengals. But these are like the only 2 teams that are like definitely better than the Niners right now. There's no reason why you don't win 9 or 10 games. And then the Monarchs, we won't do this for everyone, by the way. You can check the draft stream. But London, Seattle, OKC, Chargers are good. Explorers are good. Niners are good. That's kind of tough. As for the players of the week, Kyler Murray, Denton Sens the 4th, Deshaun Elliott, and Isaiah Simmons, who had 2 interceptions as well for the Texans. All right, into week 7. Again, if there's a good game this week, we can simcast it. Yes. Yes. Let's see if there's another comparable game. This is kind of fun. Yeah, no, I don't think we need a vote here. I think we know what we want. Sorry, Explorers, Chargers. The random number generator lands on 1. 1 is 5-0 today. At least in terms of getting picked. Do I have the timer going off? No? Wait, who's the road team? I think the Dreadnoughts are the road team. Oop, didn't mean to do that. It should have still saved, because it's on autosave. If not, that'd be bad. Would it be bad, though? We can help Daniel Godley's stats. Okay, no, it autosaved. Good. So both of these teams only have 1 loss, both of which were to their undefeated division rivals. So as of now, these are 2 wild card teams. Will they both end up being in the wild card? Who knows? We'll see. Did that just say Dallas is a 91? Hold on, let me see something. Oh, they had a 96 defense. I thought that said 86. I was going to say, the math is not mathing. But that actually makes sense. Am I currently the 1 seed? You are tied with the Eagles because you're both undefeated. So, technically, yes, no, maybe so. If you go undefeated, you're getting the 1 seed. Put it that way. I don't think both teams are going to go 17-0. For all we know, they might play each other. Dallas leads 7-0. San Antonio gets 7 back. San Antonio gets another 7 back. Dallas gets a field goal, as does the Dreads. They're up by 7. Could this be a playoff prequel? Good quarter for Dallas. They can take the lead, and they do. We're going to send this drive. If San Antonio scores, we're going to hop in. They don't score. Okay. So we'll keep simming. They have it at like the 50. There's still 6.5 minutes. Do we simulate a little bit more or do we hop in? I'll let you guys pick because I made the wrong decision last time. Jump. Hop. Hop. Hop on these nuts. We're going in. So the Dreadnoughts get really good field position. I don't know if it was a shank kick or a good return, but they have good field position down by 4. Was that a no-looker? I don't even know if he was looking. Hop in. Stop being a neo-fascist, damn it. Book the parade for both of these teams. Actually, book the parade for every team other than my own. Maybe that's the strategy I've needed. I agree. I don't really like this jersey combo. I don't like the gray pants. If the pants were blue, I can get behind it. Third and 1. Good run up the middle for King Henry. Another run up the middle. Henry only has superstar. That's odd. Do they have 3 X Factors on their offense? Hurts? I guess they do. Kyle Pitts has X Factor. Brock Bowers probably does. Okay, I guess that's why. Juju might too. I don't know. They've got a lot of good players on this side of the ball. Another first down for Henry. They're running it well. They have it at the 26. Oh, they have Justin Jefferson. I forgot about that too. I forgot they had him. Yeah, he definitely is X Factor, obviously. Speaking of Jefferson, there he is for a first down. Yeah, these guys made a lot of additions on the offensive side of the ball in free agency. Jetta's, Derrick Henry. I think they might have got a lineman, too. I might be wrong. Fumble! That's out! That's a fumble! It's picked up by Kevin Byard. Why did he run upfield? He could have housed that. But yeah, that is a fumble. Who was that with the force? Was that Lattimore? This is why we watch. Good call, guys. Boom! I think it is Marshawn Lattimore with the force. Kevin Byard could have housed it. Still a good return. Let's see if Dallas can finish off the game. We'll stay in. They're going to throw it to start. Watch game, Greg Dulcich. I don't know why Joe threw it for the sidelines. They should be chewing clock, not stopping it. Oh, I thought that was picked. Joe, what are you doing, man? That was ballsy. It worked, but he was asking for trouble. Dallas is lucky. 3rd and 2. Why are they throwing for the sidelines? I don't get it. There's 3.5 minutes left, and they throw the ball on all 3 plays, and 2 of them are for the sidelines. Clearly, this is the same offensive coordinator who called the OFL ball, because the decision-making is awfully similar. I just realized these are the 2 teams who just lost to the Bills 2 years in a row. It's the battle of second place, if you will. Good play by Derrick Henry. He had a good drive on the previous possession prior to the fumble. It seems like the Dreadnoughts are trying to lean into him, which, I mean, considering it's Derrick Henry, that's not the worst idea in the world. For some reason, I think he's using the Carolina playbook. Matt Canada, you are a Dallas Cowboy. I think he already is a Dallas Cowboy. Are the Bills the first ever back-to-back winners? They are not. Who's Rob in 19? Rob was the Rams in 19. They won back-to-back in 20. The Niners with me, we won 3 in a row. And then last year, Seattle won the first 2. So we've had back-to-back winners every OFL except for OFL 21. The Bucs won it twice that year, but it was not back-to-back. Lobs it up. What is he doing? There was 4 defenders there. The Panthers playbook has the halfbacks split out wide a lot. That'll explain why Nick Chubb had 7 catches for 130 yards the other week. Downfield shot incomplete. Good coverage. I think that's Greg Newsome. Why is Jalen Hurts lobbing it into coverage? I mean, at least that was single coverage. It's not like there was 4 guys on him. But still, I don't know what he's doing. 3rd and 10. See, that's more like it. Problem is he missed the throw. And they're going to go for it here on 4th and 10. Is this real-life Jalen Hurts? He needs the tush push. Can he get 10 yards from the tush push? Hurts is going to launch a rocket. It is caught. What a catch. Was that Jetta's? That might have been Kyle Pitts. Hold on. I'm curious. No, it's neither. It's Keenan Allen. How many receivers does this team have? My God. I forgot they had him. How old is Keenan Allen to still be in the league? He's got to be at least like 36. They have Pitts, they have Juju, they have Bowers. My God. I think Aaron Jones is still here too. 34. He's only 34. Wow. I would have thought he was older. Here's Hurts on the run. He's got room. He should have ran it. Okay, never mind. Don't listen to me. The Dreadnoughts take the lead. Jalen Hurts connects with Brock Bowers, Bengal legend, Houday, for the touchdown. Jones is... Okay, that makes sense. I didn't realize he was gone. Still, this is an absurd amount of playmakers. Are the lights too bright for Burrow? They were in the OFL Bowl, put it that way. Thanks for costing us the game by not running once. That last drive will never make sense. You should be chewing clock. Why are you throwing the ball 3 times? In theory, this offense shouldn't be stopped. In theory, you are 100% correct. I can't think of an offense that's better. Maybe the Bills last year in terms of playmakers, but they don't have Jamar Chase anymore. So the Dreadnoughts passed the Bills. Seattle has an absurd amount of riches on offense, but they have a comfortably worse running back. Oh, I thought that was pick 2. Another ballsy throw by Burrow. Dallas doesn't have the receivers that the Dreadnoughts do. We don't have the tight end play that the Dreadnoughts do. Sorry, Isaiah Likely. Love you, boo. The Texans, I don't think had... Oh, no, they have Kittle. The Texans could contend with the Dreadnoughts. I would still give the edge to San Antonio. I think their receivers are better. And that's probably... Maybe the Nighthawks? I guess the Nighthawks could be in the running, yeah. Can't forget them. Seattle is an embarrassment of riches on offense and an embarrassment of a quarterback. Respect Tiny. Respect him. The Niners tight end can... Oh, I agree with that. You know I agree with that. Flag. They're not going to call it PI, are they? I thought that was clean. No, it's a roughing the passer. 15 yards and an automatic first down. Danielle Hunter. Amon-Ra, Bateman, DeWave, CMC, Dr. Doof. That's up there. I think I would still give the edge to the Dreadnoughts, but that's up there. I think the closest team to the Dreadnoughts in terms of offensive skill position players is probably OKC. And I think Seattle would be shortly behind them. The Eagles aren't far behind. And then pretty much every other good team is 2. I respect Russell Wilson. That's the only tiny quarterback I respect. Wow, there's 11 seconds. They can tie it with a field goal. Chris Boswell from 47. He should make it. I did not realize there was 11 seconds. For the tie, that kick looks shaky. Okay, he got it. I thought that was going to be missed. Yeah, that looked like an ugly kick. That looked like a line drive. That might have been tipped. Knowing Madden, it was not tipped. There's no blocks in this game. But that kick was ugly. But hey, 3 points is 3 points. You'll take what you can get. They should run a Hail Mary here. I mean, Nick knows a thing or two about giving up Hail Marys. Oh, look at Henry! They're going to have a second left and a time to take a shot for the end zone. Are we going to get a Season 5 Hail Mary? Hurts on the run. Oh, my God. Are they going to call pass interference? You have got to be kidding me. Defensive pass interference. They can kick the game-winning field goal. This game never ceases to amaze me. Kids, this is why you run Hail Marys at the end of the game. Even if it's like, there's no point of risking it. It's not going to work. This is why. Pass interferences. And the Dreadnoughts survive after all. Wow. What a game. What a finish. Big win for San Antonio. They're now 5-1. Or are they 6-1? Did they hit their bye week? No, I think they're 6-1. Well, that was an ending. EA still hates Nick. Shocker. Both QBs played pretty well. I feel like Burrow could have had some better plays. I mean, that last drive, he did what he needed to. Offensive coordinator, player of the game for San Antonio. Both teams had some really unlucky things here. San Antonio had the unlucky fumble. Dallas had the unlucky drive after the fumble. And then obviously the Hail Mary pass interference beats all. Yeah, I feel like not running it with the best running back in the league. Yes, he's better than Josh Jacobs. I'll admit it now. Not running it with the best running back in the league is not a good idea. To be fair to me, Josh Jacobs was better 2 years ago, but now, no. Now I don't think it's an argument. Nick Chubb is the best at his position in the league, and they didn't give him the ball once. I don't know why. Okay, the Dreadnoughts did have a bye week. They're 5-1. Dallas is 5-2. Who was the OFL 22 Seahawks coach? That would have been RMP. The Eagles are 7-0. Look at them. Low-key, JT clears both Jacobs and Chubb. I think right now I would probably pick Jonathan Taylor over Josh Jacobs. I think I would still pick Nick Chubb, though, over him. I think right now the order is Chubb, Taylor, Jacobs, but it's really interchangeable. Josh Jacobs has been playing out of his mind the last 3 weeks. How would you rank DJ Moore, AJ Brown, Bobby Moss-Jones, Laporta, ETN, Smirnoff? Pretty high. Pretty high. Cut Jay Younger. Oh, was he the guy who had the pass interference? Yeah, I can do that. Explorers lose to the Chargers. The Chargers keep winning. Niners beat the Colts. 45 on their heads. So what? The Niners are 4-3? No, they're 3-4. 3 sacks for Jack Sawyer. 3 sacks for Jalen Phillips. Was CMC hurt? Looks like it. Yeah, he's definitely hurt. We can take a look at that after the week. The Eagles lose to the Desperados. So Mexico is only a half a game ahead of the Dreadnoughts, albeit they do it the tiebreaker. And the Philadelphia Eagles are the final undefeated team. The Desperados started slowly, but they're starting to play well with their new look team. I think this team could certainly contend for a wild card spot. The problem is the NFC is loaded. You're going to have the loser of the NFC East in as a wild card. You're going to have the loser of the NFC South in as a wild card. The NFC West has 3 good teams. So the Desperados have a lot of work to do. I was about to preach my CMC is a top 3. I mean, he's not top 3. Top 5. I feel like I would still say no. But I think it can be maybe argued. What? Okay. All right. Whatever, Jets. They lose to the Broncos. Okay. Yeah, I do think Najee Harris is better than CMC. He was the first guy I thought of. This is supposed to be the easy stretch, Jets. You're supposed to go like 8-3 the rest of the way. What happened? You should really win pretty much all of these games other than Week 18. I left you a little room for margin for error, but now that margin for error is starting to slip. The Jets are 2-5. They might be the best 2-5 team I've ever seen, but 2-5 is 2-5. Monarchs beat Detroit. The Bengals-Vikings game is nuts. I saw Minnesota leads by, what, 7? Should I root for the Vikings to win? I want to play them in the first round. So I feel like I should. I like the Vikings anyway. Go Vikings. T. Higgins made the play of the year. Interesting. So what? I take it that the Bengals are driving? Or maybe scored? Oh, they did score. Okay. Huh. Did that say Ty Chandler has 130 yards? Man, the Alexander Madison agenda is so... Oh, he's hurt. Never mind. Scratch that. Still, the Alexander Madison agenda might be cooked because Ty Chandler's doing this, and Madison never could. T. Higgins finally did something for me in fantasy on my bye week. Thank you for the trade, by the way. I appreciate it. I'm enjoying Brandon Ayuk a lot. I'm excited to enjoy Nick Chubb next year. Tell your Lions to lock in. Oh, I have a good feeling. I think we'll be fine. Denver's a good team, though. The Nighthawks, what? Okay. All right. They lost to the Rams. Okay. Yeah, all right. You do you, EA. He mauled Cameron Bynum, came out of the end zone, and then while being tackled, reached over. Wow. I'm excited to see this in real time. I wonder if the Bengals are going to pay him. His situation's interesting. Like, I know it's supposed to be a good receiver class, but I feel like a lot of those guys are going to get extended. I don't know if T. Higgins will, though. Oilers had a bye week. Orbits lose to the Texans. Houston's starting to play a lot better. I think they're 4-3 now. Panthers lose to the Commies. They are 0-7. Poor Bailey Gabriel. Bailey Gabriel's kind of good, too. That's the weird part. He's like the Cade Cunningham of our league. He seems good, but his team sucks. Najee Harris with another big game. 2 sacks for Brian Burns and Max Crosby, the dynamic edge duo. New England throttles the Titans. Raiders had a bye week. Rams won. Ravens lose to the Steelers. Good game from Hayden Callaway. Alejandro de Cisnaro was not so good, although he only threw the ball 14 times. Cade isn't good. Cade has the worst situation in the league. Please respect him. Seattle had a bye week. Does that say 63? Did we score 63 points? I told you, don't sleep on Daniel Godley. He's good at football. Thank God. Finally. 460 yards and 6 touchdowns. Now, I get the Snowhawks are not that great of a team. And their defense has been pretty bad this year. But you know what? 63 points is a whole lot. This is the best individual performance we've had from a quarterback this year. Maybe the one Travis Flight game could be argued, but 460 yards and 6 touchdowns is absurd. I get it's not a good team, but I'm going to victory lap. Devontae Adams, I called you washed. Here you are, 200 yards. And Isaiah Likely played well, too. It's like Puma Whitlock's throwing the ball. And then Jamison Williams scores 3 times. Love it. Now it's one game. Is Daniel Godley fully back? No. It's one game. But we know he has this ability. He had some really good games last year. The problem is he has no consistency. It's not that we don't get the flashes from him. It's that he's not consistent. But I'm going to enjoy this. 63. Also, shout out the defense. They only allow 7. Bills at a bye week. Broncos won. Bros meat riding pixels. You're goddamn right I am. Chargers won. Colts lost. Colts are 2-5. I thought the Colts were good through 3 weeks, and then they just started sucking. Declaring a man who was never there to be back. He was there at the end of last year. After, like, week 9, he was one of the 6 or 7 best QBs in the league, at least in the regular season. In the playoffs, no, he was garbage. Has anyone scored 70? 63 might be the most. I don't think anyone scored 70. I can't think of a time we've seen more points. 63 might, like, legitimately be the OFL record. Did I skip anyone? I don't think so. We started on either the Cowboys or the Dreads. It doesn't matter because they're right next to each other. Where was he in the playoffs? We're not talking about the playoffs. We're talking about regular season. In the playoffs, I'll be the first to tell you, he was garbage in that game. But through like weeks 8 through 18, he was really good. Players of the week, Justin Pope, Daniel Godley, obviously, Leighton Vander Esch, and Patrick Queen. All right, 2 weeks to go. I say we simcast probably one more game. So why don't we look at week 8 and 9 together? The Steelers are 4-2. I'll put this game in the vote. I'll throw this game in. Why not? Seattle and the Nighthawks. Or not the Nighthawks, the Monarchs. I'll throw in the Eagles and the Texans. And then week 9, I'll throw in the Monarchs and the Nighthawks. Eagles-Bills for sure. I have a feeling that's going to win. Understandably so. No complaints from me. We play the Rams, yay. Now that I say that, we're going to lose. Yeah, I think those are all the games. Monarchs, Nighthawks, Eagles, Bills, Bengals, Steamers, Monarchs, Seahawks, and Eagles, Texans. Eagles, Bills, yeah, okay. I had a feeling Eagles, Bills would win. That would be my pick, too. I think that's the right call. We haven't looked, I don't think we've done a Bills game yet this year, so that seems good. And the Eagles are the best team in the league right now, so no complaints here. That means this week is a full sim. We can also look at the awards. So that's cool. The Dreadnoughts beat the Colts. They only scored 17, but a win's a win. They only have 1 loss, and that's to a very good Mexico team. Connor Weston was pretty bad. At least in terms of drafting the quarterbacks, at least we picked the right one. If Connor Weston was really good, I think the Daniel Godley discussion would look different. The Eagles are 8-0. They beat the Commies, so they are 8-0 going into their biggest matchup of the year against the Bills. If the Eagles win against Buffalo, then it's time to have some discussions about this team. Yeah, CMC's definitely hurt. He did not play. And it doesn't matter because they keep winning. So do the Commies hit the panic button, or do they, like, smash the panic button? I get it's the Eagles, but they have, like, 2 wins. Explorers beat the Vikings. The Niners beat the Ravens. Okay, San Francisco is winning these games that they should. They're now 4-4. I think they're in a fairly good spot, all things considered. They have to keep it up, though. The NFC obviously is loaded. The Eagles get back on the win column. They beat the Texans. Houston's only 4-4. They're lucky they're in the AFC South. If the Texans were in, like, the NFC East, then I think you can hit the panic button with them. But since their division's not very good, I wouldn't really worry too much. Maybe you try to go out and make a move. Although it's hard at the trade deadline this year because nobody has a reason to sell. Jets get back on the win column. They needed to win this game. Must win, and they do. Over the Oilers. Please donate a corner. Can you donate Mac Jones's pressure trait to Daniel Godley, please? Rams win again. They've won 2 in a row. If they beat us next week, could they contend for a wild card spot? Who am I kidding? They won't contend for a wild card spot. I guess they could theoretically beat us. But I don't think the Rams are making the playoffs. Anyway, Seattle beats the Monarchs. Seattle had to win this game because they looked like they were in for a little trouble. They're now 4-3. Why is LA competitive? I don't know. It's time to humble them. DMs for Danny Blaze. Okay. I'll give everybody until the next stream for Danny Blaze, so we won't do the trade now. Put it that way. Nighthawks had a bye week. Oilers lost. Orbits beat Tennessee. The Orbits are not half bad. You know who is bad? Carolina. They allowed 52 to the Desperados. Drop 90 on them. We'll try. No promises. New England had a bye week. The Raiders lose to Buffalo. So the Bills are 5-2? I think they had their bye week. I think they're 5-2. Or 6-2. Going into their game with the Eagles. Yeah, the Rams are still 3-5. It's not time to jump the gun on the Rams quite yet. Wow, the Ravens have not won since week 1. Jeez. Seattle won, we saw that. Snowhawks beat the Chargers. Okay, that's interesting, because the Chargers were in first place. I think they probably still are. I better hear nobody disrespecting them Bengals again. 63-7, and then 38-0 out of the bye week. 516 yards to 125. Daniel Godley didn't put up the eye-popping numbers, but he still had a really good game. 74% completion percentage. And he didn't need to throw 5 touchdowns. I'm happy with this performance. He was very good. Carson Michaels, not so good. The Steamers are like 4-3. Yeah, the Steamers are 4-3. So they're kind of good. Josh Jacobs played well again. Okay, Josh Jacobs heard me call him the 3rd best running back in the league. He's back. Devontae Adams also heard me. He's very back. Good stuff. I get these aren't like elite teams or anything, but when you have a second-place schedule, you don't have to play against the Bills and the Texans. Steelers lose to Denver. We quite literally dropped a nuke on them. It isn't that impressive. 38-0 is impressive against an over 500 team, no matter how you look at it. I get the Steamers probably aren't that good. They probably won't stay over 500, but I'm going to enjoy this. You guys always bring up whenever Daniel Godley sucks, so therefore, I'll bring up whenever he performs well. To be fair, you guys have been able to get back at me pretty often, and understandably so. He's been disappointing, but let the disrespect be louder than whatever the quote is. I don't remember the saying, but whatever. He has 1 touchdown. Did you see the rest of the numbers? He didn't need to throw 4 touchdowns. We won by 38. If we win by 38, he can throw 10 picks for all I care. Cougars lose to the Cowboys. Did we see this game? I don't think we did. No, we didn't. Joe Burrow played well. Nick Chubb played well. Joe Mixon played well. The Offensive Player of the Year race is going to be wild. There are so many good running backs this year. Flight solos that bar. I'd never said otherwise. Obviously, Travis Flight might be the MVP right now. Obviously, he's better. I think we went through everybody, right? Yeah, we went through we saw that. Yeah, we went through everybody. We started with the Dreadnoughts. That's right. As for the players of the week, Kyler Murray, I.T. Thomas, Victor Boswell, and Harold Landry. All right, that brings us into week 9. We already know which game we're going through. Final week of the day. We've made pretty good time. Under 2 hours. Not counting the preseason sim, of course. So let's see if the randomizer lands on 1 again for the 20,000th time. Oh, wow, it actually didn't. It landed on 2. So we are going to user the Bills. This is a big game, really, for the Eagles. I feel like the Bills can kind of afford to lose it. They're in a good spot in their division, and they've won 2 OFL Bowls in a row. They could lose by 30, and I wouldn't worry about them. For the Eagles, this game is so important, though. If the Eagles beat Buffalo in Buffalo, then they maybe become the team to beat. So they have a real shot to put a statement up, and so far, so good. They're up 14-7. Game remains a 7-point deficit. I think the Bills forced a turnover. They tie it. Eagles get the lead right back. And the Bills are driving it. Okay, they tie it. We're going to sim this drive, and we're probably going to hop in shortly thereafter. Okay, there's still 8 minutes. I think we sim here. Big play on 3rd down. Devin Wilcox for 27. Yeah, I think we're going to simcast, or we're going to hop in for the next drive pretty much regardless. We might as well just hop in now then. 3rd and 6. Biggest play of the game thus far. Good time to come in. Under 5.5 to go. And the Bills punch it in. No! What was Isaiah Thomas thinking? So the Eagles get the stop. And Philadelphia, Patrick Mahomes. Can you guys, score, please? We would appreciate it. The only way we have a chance to win the OFL Bowl is if we don't play in Buffalo. So, please, for the love of God, Philadelphia, score. Why did they just switch sides? What do you mean? Actually, now that I think about it, I think they did. I think the Bills were driving in the end zone that the Eagles are aiming for. I think you're right. Huh. Okay. Thanks, EA. You're right, they did. Okay, there's a good start. I feel like I'm watching the Bengals right now because I feel like this game is so important for us. Here's a big run. Who needs Christian McCaffrey when you've got this guy, Copeland? Okay, to be fair, his numbers are abysmal prior to that run, but still, who needs Christian McCaffrey anyway? The Eagles are getting close to field goal range, but as we know with the Bills, never trust your kickers here. That was a ballsy throw. Good play. They cannot be thinking field goal here. They need a touchdown. There's Lucas DeWave. It looks like he's having a pretty good game. Also, Patrick, please avoid Trayvon Diggs as well. Good throw up the middle to the 11. Who's 13? Is that Rashad Bateman? It is. Bengal legend. Houday. Rashad Bateman's having a good game, too. 6 for 92. Can we fix Mahomes' number? He looks foul in 16. I know that's not far off from 15, but yeah, we can fix it. What are you doing? I thought that should have been intercepted. Patrick, you are awfully lucky, buddy. Second and 10. Okay, there's a good play. 3rd and 3. I don't think the Eagles are going to miss a field goal from here. I would hope not. But still, a touchdown would be gigantic. And they're going to go 5 wide. Mahomes empty in the backfield. Patrick. I see you. Lacarius Copeland with the touchdown. And the Eagles take the lead. Didn't the Eagles win 9 games last year? Did they win 9 or 10? I don't remember. Regardless, this team is pretty good. The weird thing about the Eagles is they didn't really change over the offseason. They added Devin Bush. That's about it. They didn't really have much money to play around with. They pretty much are running it back. They re-signed pretty much everybody, and they signed Devin Bush. Am I missing something? I mean, I feel like this team maybe shouldn't have underperformed previously, but, like, damn. And SG comes in at a pretty perfect time. So, I don't know how much you've seen, but the Bills are pretty good. They're, what, 6-2? 5-2? I keep forgetting if they've had their bye week, but they have 2 losses. So, overall, you're in a pretty good spot. You're winning the division because the Jets had the schedule from hell. And I guess you're probably only a game back of first place. I would assume we're in first place. He's in bounds. Is he? Yeah, he's in. He very clearly got 2 feet in. Not that it's going to be more than like a 5-yard difference. But yeah, the play stands, as it should. 3rd and 5. Giant play here. And if you don't get it, if you're Buffalo, I feel like you got to consider going for it. I would trust their defense to get a stop. Thomas is going to launch a rocket. Good coverage. Incomplete. No flag. And they are going to go for it. I guess because you're down by 4, it's fine. If you were down by 7, I'd actually be a little bit more nervous. Incomplete. The Eagles get the stop. Big plays in coverage for Philadelphia. The Bengals have outscored their opponents 101-7 over the last 2 weeks. Is that good? Because everybody here keeps saying we're still mid. Which is odd, because outscoring 2 teams by 94 is pretty good. The 2 teams we played aren't great, but neither of them are horrible. So, like, I don't know. Am I missing something? Are they not mid? Anyway, 2nd and 7. Copeland gets 2 or 3. Y'all still mid. I guess I can't really talk with you because you're the one team who's beaten me. But, like, the Snowhawks are, like, 500. They're not good, but they're not, like, bottom 8. What a throw by Mahomes. That'll do it. I sound like Collinsworth. The Philadelphia Eagles, 9-0 after the first dream of the year. They've beaten the Cowboys. They've beaten the Bills. They've beaten the Commies twice. Is there a better team right now than the Eagles? I don't see how the answer to that question is no. Maybe you still trust the Bills and the Cowboys more in the playoffs. That's fair. But, like, the Eagles are just as good as them, and they beat both of them. They beat the Bills in Buffalo. Nobody beats the Bills in Buffalo. That says something. And they did it and watched when we hopped into the game. They were essentially down. But yeah, let's fix Mahomes' number. 16 looks ugly. Who did we use? I think we used the Bills, because this was the first time it landed on the home team all day. Yeah, the Bills have Gavin Bartholomew, so it is the Bills. Is Bartholomew the guy who has X Factor? I think he's the one. Make Mahomes 24. We're going to make him, like, 46. I don't think it gets uglier than 46. And then I can give Bijan 7. And then any other jersey requests we'll do later. 15's probably taken. Yeah. 10 looks kind of hard on him, though. I can't lie. So who wears 15? Is it a special teamer? No. It's probably like a linebacker or something stupid. George Hyde. He a superstar, by the way. We'll give him 3. If he'd rather something else, I can give him something else, but 3's cool. Mahomes can get his 15, Bijan can get his 7, and then we can skip forward. I don't think that's saved. Nope. I clicked out too quick. Is Mahomes not a 99? Did that just say he's lower than 99? Is he regressing? He's not that old. He's 31. Yeah, he's not a 99. Well, he's not 99 with morale, but his actual rating's lower. Huh. I feel like this is a little early for him to fall down. But, okay. Remember in OFL 22 when the Seahawks during a 6-week stretch only allowed 1 field goal and outscored somebody like 100. I don't think that happened. I don't think they allowed 3 points in a 6-week stretch. I feel like I would remember that. Who has 7? Godwin has 7. Let's see if 12 or 14 is available. Those are the 2 numbers he's worn. 14, there we go. Did it save? Yes. They scored I don't remember this. I highly doubt that was true. The Seahawks were really bad at the Seahawks last year were so weird. They won the first 2 OFL Bowls, and then by the end, they were awful. It was kind of funny. Okay, the Bills are 5-3. They have had their bye week. I still wouldn't worry about the Bills, though. They'll be fine. I would still pick them to make it out of the AFC, I think. If we win by 50 again, then maybe I'll change my mind. The Broncos have won 3, or no, they just lost. Never mind. They lost to the Raiders. Scratch that. Chargers beat the Colts. Colts lost to the Chargers. The Commanders beat the Cowboys. Ooh, interesting. Big win for Washington. The Cowboys have lost 2 in a row. Does that say 6? It does. Second consecutive week with a 6-touchdown performance from a quarterback. So the Bills had 3 losses and the Cowboys had 3 losses. Interesting. Interesting. So are these not the 2 best teams anymore? Cougars had a bye week. Cowboys lost. Okay, the Cowboys are 6-3. They haven't had their bye week. They had to play the Eagles, though. And the Eagles again. Lucky them they had the late bye week, though. Desperados, they've won 3 in a row. Oh, yeah, no, wait. No, they did play week 9. They've won 3 in a row. They've won 5 of 6 after starting 0-3. The Dreadnoughts win again. They beat Carolina. The Panthers, winless. I think they're 0-9. They have not had their bye week. Could the Panthers or the Eagles make history, good or bad? You have not swept the Dreads. The Dreads have lost 1 game. You still have to play them again. They get to play the Nighthawks and the Golden Eagles in back-to-back weeks. That'll really tell us a lot about this Dreadnoughts team. They've already beaten Dallas. Explorers beat Detroit. Niners lose to the Steelers. So San Francisco's 4-5. They're in an interesting spot because I feel like they've played better to their record, but they've had some tough games, and they started slow. Hayden Callaway played very well, 4 touchdowns. Eagles had a bye week. Jets had a bye week. Monarchs lose to Oklahoma City. Another good game from Travis Flight, strengthening his MVP candidacy. So what? The Nighthawks are in first place, right? Seattle's 4-3. We haven't looked at their game yet. OKC is... They have 3 losses. Okay, they're 5-3. So Seattle could tie them with a win. Oilers lost. Orbits had a bye week. Panthers lost. New England beat the Steamers. Good. Thank you. I appreciate it. Raiders won. Rams won. Jesus Christ, guys. It's never easy with these goobers. Is it? Never easy. Caleb Sampson played out of his mind. Mr. Godley, on the other hand, did not. Right when things go up for him, it feels like he has a couple big weeks, and then he plays like dog water again. At least Josh Allen had another good game. Still, we're 6-2. I think we're still the number 1 seed. So, overall, good 9 weeks for the boys. We're the number 1 seed because the AFC sucks, but number 1's number 1. Would be nice to have a little extra margin for error and, like, beat the Rams, but you can't win them all. Seattle beats Baltimore. The Ravens stink. We tried to tell you. You tried to tell me what? The Rams are not that bad. It's 1 game. I didn't say Daniel Godley is, like, the best quarterback in the league. I just said that he's going to play to his 98 overall rating. Snowhawks lost to Minnesota. Steamers, we saw that. The Rams are not that... Let me show you the Rams real quick. They have won 3 in a row, and they nearly beat the Eagles, and they nearly beat the Red Hot Desperados. Since their embarrassing Week 4, they've played well. I don't think they're a playoff team, but they're not, like, god-awful. Did we see this game? Yeah, we did. Oh, we started with the Bills. Okay, that's everyone. I was not familiar with the Rams game. Players of the Week. Mac Jones, Hayden Callaway, Danielle Hunter, and Minkah Fitzpatrick. All right, we've made it halfway through the season. Let's take a look, starting with standings. In the AFC North, the Bengals clearly in first place. We've got the number 1 seed in the AFC. Daniel Godley's been up and down, but we're in first place. No complaints. The Texans lead the AFC South, more so because the division is bad. The Bills are tied with New England in the East. I still trust the Bills to make it work, but they've played 6 home games already and only 2 road games. Interesting. Or it's only 1 game back too. And don't sleep on the Jets. The Chargers are in second place in the conference, by the way. The NFC is a lot better than the AFC. You've got the Explorers at 6-2, first in the North. The Geagles and the Dreads are tied for first in the South. Geagles currently at the tiebreaker. The Eagles are ahead by 3 games over Dallas in the East, and they have the tiebreaker as well. And then the Nighthawks and Seahawks are tied for first in the West. So the playoffs as of now would look like Bengals, Chargers, Bills, Texans, Patriots, Steelers, Steamers. Man, this conference sucks. In the NFC, Eagles, Geagles, Explorers, Nighthawks, Dreads, Cowboys, Seahawks. Desperados and Monarchs half a game back. Vikings, Commies, Rams, Niners also in the race. Wow, the Cougars have lost 6 in a row. Ugh, jeez. All right, let's take a look at stats. Was this the final week? Yes, that was the last week we're going through today. I feel like in a vacuum, these numbers aren't horrible. Not as good as last year, and obviously not good enough for a 98, but not terrible. Josh Jacobs is having himself a year, Offensive Player of the Year type numbers. J-Mo's playing well. Devontae's woken up. We're doing everybody's stats, by the way. Don't worry. We're just starting here with the good guys. Josh Allen's been our best defensive player. I don't know how to feel about that. Garrett's playing well. Chase Young's playing well, as is Fanu. I'm very happy with the pass rush. I think that's the biggest thing I've seen from us this year, is that the pass rush is really good, which it hasn't been. Isaiah Thomas is, I feel like, quietly having a pretty good year. Jonathan Taylor is quietly not having a pretty good year, at least for his standards. Ten and a half sacks from Micah Parsons. Depoy? Possibly. Trey Lance has improved, I guess. I mean, he's throwing like 58% completion percentage, but only 3 interceptions. Does that say they have no interceptions? Hold on. Oh, no. It just didn't sort. I was going to say, that's pretty bad. Trevor Lawrence is back. Took him like 2 years to recover after that god-awful playoff run. But he's back. 46% of Godley's touchdowns come from the Snowhawks game. You're not wrong. I mean, the team's still 6-2. So I'm not going to complain. We've been the best team in the AFC. Is the AFC good? Absolutely not. But first place is first place. So I'm not worried. Not to say I think we're the favorite. The Bills are still the favorite. Jack Sawyer's having a great year. Kind of out of nowhere. Good for him. Mac Jones is having, statistically, a great year. Team's only 4-4 or 4-5 or whatever. But it's not at the fault of Mac Jones. he might be challenging Travis Flight atop the MVP mantle. And it's not like Travis Flight's team is like 7-1. They've been vulnerable as well. Why is Joe Mixon far down? Has he been hurt? Oh, yeah, he's only played 3 games. That makes sense. Joe Burrow has a pass rating of nearly 120. I did not realize he was playing that well. Nick Chubb's been fantastic. He's also been very good as a receiver. Shout out Carolina Playbook. He's probably the offensive player of the year so far, although Josh Jacobs is catching up. I can't think of anybody else who's, maybe Bijan, who's been like at their level. Kyler Murray's having a really good year. 29? Jesus. Kyler Murray might be an MVP candidate himself. I doubt he's thrown 29 touchdowns at all in a season this year, let alone half of a season. He's on pace to, like, break the record. Hold on. I've got to see something. Has he thrown at least 30 touchdowns once this cycle? Oh, he had 33 last year. And he had 41 in season 1. Okay, never mind. I apologize, Kyler. I wasn't familiar with your game. Jalen Hurts has been good, as have the entire Dreadnoughts. I feel like the Dreadnoughts might be like the sleeping giant, because all the hype has gone to the Eagles, and deservedly so, but the Dreads are like 7-1. I feel like they might be the team to beat in the NFC right now. If not them, you can't go wrong with the Eagles. Patrick Mahomes has been great. He's got the team's success to back it up. What happened to McCaffrey? Oh! Torn pec. Done for the year. Well, that's significant, isn't it? Arthur Byers and last week's hero, Lecarius Copeland, Temple legend, are going to have to carry the load. Pause. So far, they've been fine without CMC, but realistically, this team's got to go out and get a running back. Now, luckily for them, there's a bazillion out there, so you can get someone. Not Christian McCaffrey. But there are like 80 overall third stringers, so Nickinator has to, you'd think, make a move there. David Montgomery's having a good year. He's having a really good year. He might be in the Offensive Player of the Year race, too. For an Explorers team who is 6-2. With Hector Estrada at quarterback. They're not even missing Travis Flight. Justin Pope's had a good year. He's only thrown 1 interception if you take out that really bad game. So he's having a very good, third season? I think he's in his 3rd year. Here are the Geagles, also 7-1. I can't fully trust this team until, like, they win a couple playoff games in a row. But 7-1, 7-1. They're having a great year. Jets are interesting. They're, 3-5? But they're, like, they're either 3-5 or 4-5. But, like, they do have an easy schedule the rest of the way. You'd think they're going to figure it out. That loss to the Broncos a few weeks ago does really hurt. Caleb Williams has thrown a lot of touchdowns and a lot of picks. New Jameis Winston. Rondale Moore, I think that just said he had 12 touchdowns. God damn, that's a lot. Could he be in the Offensive Player of the Year race, too? Bill Chippendale's having a nice year with the Monarchs, who have been a pleasant surprise. They could contend for the division. I think it's going to be easier to win the division than the wild card. When will I know what team I want? So you're going to be traded probably before the next stream. So that's most likely your answer. Travis Flight only has 23 touchdowns. He has slowed down a little bit. Still very much at the top of the MVP race. But some guys might be passing him. Bijan's obviously having a great year. His best season. New change of scenery has clearly helped him. 9.5 sacks for Sexy Dexy. 9 for Hutchinson. These guys are right up there with us and the Bills as the best pass rushes in the league. And I guess Dallas, too. Oilers, they've been up and down. I don't know what to think of this team. They're weird. Weird is a lot better than I expected, though, coming into the day, so progress. The Orbits are also kind of weird. They're competitive. They could, like, get a wild card spot. Drake May has thrown 9 touchdowns, though. That's low. Did JSN get hurt? That's a good question. We'll check injuries shortly, so I'll give you an answer there. Carolina, they are not interesting. They are god-awful. I thought Bailey Gabriel was having a good year. I guess not. He's been dreadful. Every box score that I remember, he had a passer rating of at least like 100. Does Cap update now? I mean, I don't really see what would change, but yeah, I can show it real quick. I mean, I guess based on the roster moves that teams have made. So I guess it is different than like the last cap space video. So yeah, I'll show it. Here's New England, tied for first place in the East with Buffalo. Are they going to win the East over Buffalo? Probably not, but good for them, I guess. Carolina always starts slow, but randomly makes a late push. Yeah, but they're 0-9. I don't think they're going to be... Maybe they win a couple games late, but, like, they're not pushing for anything. The Eagles and the Dreadnoughts have 7 wins. I don't think Carolina's passing them. Caleb Sampson's having a good year, and the Rams are competitive. With Tavares Desperado at running back, that might be the coolest name I've ever seen in my entire life. What is Brian Neal's rating? I'm kind of curious. He's an 80 with only superstar. I want to see his career numbers. Yeah, this guy's good. He's good for a random 5th round pick. That Rams playbook in the slot does wonders. Victor Boswell's having a good year. He was a high-ish pick, wasn't he? Baltimore, they're also not interesting because they suck. Alessandro De Cisnaro was so good through like his first 2.5 games, and then he's like kind of fallen off. And this team has not won since week 1. Seattle, they've been up and down, but I think they'll get it together. Todd seemed displeased with Bryce Young, but his numbers look fine. They don't look like great or anything, but they're not bad. Pass rush doing well. 8.5 sacks for Josh Sweat. Here are the Snowhawks. Rufus Motley's been not awful. Really, this whole team as a whole hasn't been terrible, minus, 63-7. The Steelers! They've been weird. They could get a wild card spot, though. They probably wouldn't get one in the NFC, because the NFC is a lot better. But minus their 38-0 loss to us, they've been fine. Remember that Flight's had a bye week already. That's true. He's still very much at the top of the race. I don't know if he's number 1, but he's very high. Hayden Callaway has a passer rating of 124? Oh, it's because his yards per attempt is absurdly high. That's a good thing. That means he's aggressive. The Steelers, I feel like they've been a little disappointing. Since the AFC's bad, I'm not worried about them. I don't think they're going to catch the Bengals, because the Bengals have been the best team in the conference thus far. But they should still get a wild card spot. The Texans have been kind of weird. I'm not too worried about them yet, because their division's very bad. What happened to Sean? Wait, Sean's been hurt all year. No! And he's even averaging 3.4 yards a carry. What happened to Sean? Broken ankle. He's out for the regular season. No! Why Sean Tucker? You could have taken anybody else. That sucks. He might be back for late in the playoffs. So I guess the Texans got to get a running back too. At least Rashawn Gary's playing well. He might be the decoy. He only has 1 TFL though. But he also has 11 sacks. So I think that's first place. Here are the Titans. They're not very good. John Scott, 2.4 yards a carry. Yeah, this team's bad. Aiden Turkey's having a great year, though. Shout out him. It's impressive when there's nobody else good on your team. I guess Harold Landry's been pretty good. And last but not least, Minnesota. They've been very average. Very average. Maybe they sneak into like a 7th seed or come back and win the division. I don't think they do anything with it, but they're not bad. All right, let's look at league leaders. So the yards leader is Joe Burrow. Touchdowns is probably Kyler. Yes, it is. How many starters have thrown 0 interceptions? I think none. I would have noticed. I think somebody has like 1, maybe. No, but Isaiah Thomas has 2. Billy Gabriel's thrown the most at 11. Best completion percentage for starters is Patrick Mahomes and Steven Universe and Joe Burrow. And then the worst is Caleb Williams and Walt Byron. Passer rating. Hayden Callaway's in first place comfortably. Universe is in second. That's very surprising. So these guys are all having good years. Then we go down. These guys have been average. And then once you get lower than 100, it's kind of bad. Which is weird because 100's like, in real life, really good. In Madden 24, 100's really good too. Because quarterback numbers are like so low in Madden 24. After they are so high this year. Kenneth Walker leads the league in rushing. I think the top 3, though, in terms of overall production, has been Chubb, Montgomery, and Jacobs. Didn't think I'd put David Montgomery with that group, but here we are. Receiving, receptions is Ben Mixon. And then the Texans have 2 in the top 3 of Zach Lawler as well. Yards is Rondale Moore. Wow, Ben Mixon's having a quietly great year. And Lawler's in 3rd again. Did the Texans not run the ball? To be fair, they probably shouldn't run the ball because Sean Tucker's hurt. Rondale Moore and Brandon Cooks have double-digit touchdowns. Blocking. 0 sacks allowed by Cesar Ruiz and Lawrence Seymour. Peter Skoronski leads with 11 allowed. Then defensively. Rashawn Gary is the overall sack leader. Jordan Fuller leads the league in picks with 5. Kicking. How many perfect kickers? It doesn't look like there's many. Joey Sly, that's funny. 4 Eyes, Evan McPherson, and Justin Tucker. That's weird, because Justin Tucker played in Buffalo. Most punts is the Snowhawks, least punts is the Eagles. How many kick return touchdowns? 4. Rudy Johnson, Carlos Godfrey, Armani Goodwin, and Devin Wheaton. And then 1 punt return for JoJo Earl. As for the awards, Kyler Murray is the MVP. Flight's in 10th. Wow. Nick Nader, Coach of the Year. That feels like an easy choice as of now. Ben Mixon, AFC Offensive Player of the Year. I think Jacobs should probably be ahead of him, but Mixon's been great, so I get it. Harold Landry, Depoy. Josh Allen's in 2nd. Nice. Denton Sens, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Diego Lopez. Hayden Callaway, Best Quarterback. There's Josh. Where's J-Mo? Josh Allen, Best Defensive Lineman. Who would have thought Josh Allen's a beast when you put him at defensive tackle? But here we are. And then in the NFC, Offensive Player of the Year is Nick Chubb. That is probably correct. Depoy is Hassan Reddick. He really might have been worth every penny. Dexter Lawrence should be higher than 4th, though. Offensive Rookie of the Year is the Ham Sandwich, Stan Ham. D-Roy is Tyler Weber on the 0-9 Panthers. Kyler's the offensive rookie, or the offensive rookie. What? He's the best quarterback. Chubb. Rondale Moore. Penei Sewell, best offensive lineman. There's Hassan Reddick again. I think Dexter Lawrence should be ahead of him, but okay. T.J. Watt and Alex Highsmith, 1 and 2. And then Jordan Fuller is the best defensive back. Who has been the most sacked? That's a good question. Let's see. I kind of want to see which team leads the league in sacks, too. I'm curious if it's us or Buffalo, or maybe like Houston. Most sacked is Caleb Sampson by a lot. Least sacked among starters is Patrick Mahomes. That makes sense. Where's Lamar? He's always at the bottom. Yeah, okay. He's bottom 10. The Texans have the most sacks, tied with Dallas, then the Nighthawks, Bengals, and Bills. That makes a lot of sense. Let's check out the injuries. We know CMC's out for the year. We know Sean Tucker's basically out for the year. JSN, who knows? And there's definitely going to be others. Oh, we have to have the Bengals last. I want to see us now. Okay, none. Good. Justin Reed, ruptured disc. Adetami Adeboare. Scooter Young, broken wrist. Oh, the backup is out for the year, too. Arthur Byers, broken fibula. So that's why the Lecarius Copeland, or whatever his name is, had to play. The Eagles are without both of their running backs. Zach Kuntz, PCL tear. No! Old Dominion's finest. Miles Sanders, MCL tear out for the year. Jeez, the running back injuries are brutal. Nothing for the Nighthawks. JSN's good to go. Nate Davis, torn hamstring. There's Sean Tucker. I'm sad. And Jerry Jeudy, broken collarbone. All right, we'll briefly look at the schedule. 9 weeks down, 9 to go. Which games are going to be the most important as of now? We played the Titans. If we lose to the Titans, I have problems. Ooh, Seattle's interesting. What are the Thanksgiving games again? Aren't they like kind of mid? Explorers, Lions, and Oilers, Rams. I guess the Oilers, Rams game isn't as bad as we thought. We thought those two teams would be horrible. They're just mid, which is better than two. Ooh, Eagles and Geagles. That's a good game. Nighthawks, Bengals. Oh, God. It's going to be a prequel of next year. Maybe. This game is obviously an important one as well back in Week 12. Week 15, Seattle OKC might decide the division. Bills Dreadnoughts is a good game. OFL Bowl rematch. Commies Cowboys is a good game. Steelers Bengals. Steelers probably are going to be fighting for a wild card spot. Maybe for the division as well if we fall off. Nighthawks Niners could be very important. Commies Bills could be a very good game. Niners Bengals maybe. Texans Nighthawks maybe. Both teams might be fighting for the division. Ooh, I want to watch this. I think these are the two best teams in the entire league right now. That's going to be a barn burner. And then here's Week 18. Bills Cowboys. Why'd they put that Week 18? That's so stupid. I guess we thought there was a chance both of these teams would be resting, and now it looks like they won't be because they both have 3 losses. But still, why would they put that Week 18? Why not put that like Week 10? Now would be the perfect time to have the Bills and the Cowboys play each other because both of them kind of need a win with 3 losses. Oh well, what can you do? All right, so that'll wrap up the stream. I hope everybody enjoyed the first half of Season 5. The second half will be pretty similar to what we did today. It'll be on either Monday or Tuesday. Haven't decided which day yet. And I'll let you guys know fairly soon. Peace out.